Okay guys, the accounts creator, this is very easy to use. Now we've got some different tabs at the top that I'll talk about just briefly. Recover last backup, that's if the software crashes while you're in the middle of creating a bunch of accounts, or if your computer restarted or something like that, you can click on that. It will recover the last backup. That way you can get those accounts back in here and it will carry on from where it left off. Okay, if you want to create a single profile, you can choose this one here to create a new profile. You can choose the randomization and it will fill that in. All you need to do at that point is come down here and choose Hotmail, okay? And then you can just click here to create an email account. Now, I'm not going to do that because we don't really need to do that when we've got the bulk account creator. What you can do though is once you've created the account, you will get a pop-up. Then you have to verify the account, you will get another pop-up, and then you can just simply click add profile and it will appear here on the left hand side. So these are profiles on the left hand side, and inside each profile is a bunch of social accounts. Now if you see the same accounts failing time and time again, you don't need to send us something in support. We are aware of what's working and what's not working, and we're either trying to find a solution, or if there's no solution, we will remove the site. Okay, for example, Twitter have just recently started asking for phone verification, which is a pity because we didn't have much problems with Twitter before. So unless we can find a way around that, then it's probably going to be better for us just to remove it. But there will be times that even you might want to put in a manual details for Twitter inside IFTTT.com, inside those particular accounts that you're creating. Okay, LinkedIn seems to be a problem if we try to create too many accounts at one time, even if we're using proxies. Okay, so we are aware of what's not working properly, and we are trying to fix it as well right now. Okay, Deagle, you will find quite often it fails at email verification. Now we've been trying for quite a while to fix this by making all emails bypass the spam folder. For some reason, Deagle still manages to get through there. We will continue trying to fix that so that we don't need to. We can always have Deagle in our accounts. But let me tell you, there's none of these that is really essential. If any of these go down, none of these are really essential to the overall strategies that we got here on the left hand side. It's just the way that we have done the SEO strategies this time around. Okay, so if Tumblr is not working, or if LinkedIn, you haven't got an account now, it's not going to affect the strategies. Okay, the one that you do really want to make sure you do have is Tumblr from these ones. Okay, you really do want to have Tumblr, and because we use this quite a lot with the high PR Tumblr accounts. I will show you in another video where you can go and buy high PR Tumblr accounts, and that will be probably underneath this video or the next one. Okay, so what I tend to do is just use this bulk profiles creator. You will also see you've got force stop bulk creator. You might want to use that if you have started up the software, and you know, you can see the capture a little capture thing pop up asking you to fill in the capture. Then you know that you need to go over to your settings and you need to go into your capture solving area. What's probably happened is this has moved up to the top to enter captures manually when you have restarted it. Okay, so anytime you do make any changes in here, or when you fire up the software, just get in the habit of coming in, making sure your capture balance is checked, save the settings, and then come over to create accounts. So this is the main part here, this bulk profiles creator. Okay, I always have this top one checkboxed. Okay, I never use with existing emails. You can go and buy emails from Fiverr.com. It's there just in case something goes wrong with the email creator at any time, that we can simply run over to Fiverr and we can order maybe something like 800 Hotmail accounts for $5. Okay, we don't need to use this. It's there as a backup if we ever do need to use it, if something ever goes wrong with the email account creator. So in normal circumstances, you use this one at the top. You choose a time delay in between creating profiles. This will work better, especially for these two accounts. But if these two keep failing anyway, just bring it down to 0. And what I tend to do is accounts to create, I put in 10 at a time. And that way I can manage my capture balance, and I can manage the quality of the proxies as well, because sometimes you can burn out the proxies and you might have to connect with squid proxies, for example, and say to them that your proxies are burned out, and they will give you new ones. Okay, so all we have to do at that point is click on this button and it will go off and start to create accounts. That's all we really need to do here. All we have to do is just wait now, and it will go and create the Hotmail account first, then it will verify the Hotmail account. Then we will see the profiles starting to be added here in the left hand side, and when that happens, which takes about 60 seconds or so for the first one, once that happens, what you will find is that it will automatically start creating these accounts for us. Okay, so I'll just pause the video while I'm waiting for that to happen, and we'll come back again once we have the profiles start to appear on the left hand side. Okay, so here we can see this has already started on the left hand side. I just went and got a coffee, came back, and the accounts had already started. So this is what happens. You can see it's created a profile for me. It's filled in all the details for that particular profile, and it's started to create some accounts. We can see that LinkedIn and Tumblr again have been a problem, so we need to get those fixed. We will be adding more in here. We know that we can add Evernote, and we know that we can add Dig. My coder will add these. I think he's actually working on them already, so we'll have some additional accounts in here as well, which will make things a little bit better. Now, once we have the accounts created, what we do need to do is log into the IFTTT account manually on your browser, okay, and we can basically activate YouTube, Facebook. If you want to use a high PR Tumblr, we can activate that as well by taking the other one out. And if you want to use Blogger, you're going to have to activate that one as well manually, because we cannot create accounts with Facebook or Blogger or Google. Okay, anything with Google, which is basically Blogger and YouTube, we can't create. It just doesn't work. We've tried it, and the same with Facebook. And those are the only ones that you really need to care about. Okay, so you can get a VA to do that part for you. It's very, very simple to do. And once that is done, it will verify the emails itself. Okay, we just need to give it a little bit of time. It will go and do that. Let's come over to this one, and you can see it's creating the accounts. Some need verification. The same two seem to have a problem, so hopefully we'll have those sorted by the time we launch. So at the time recording this particular video, we're 1 week away from launch, and we should have these fixed by then. So we will be adding some more accounts in here as well. We've got Evernote, we've got Reddit, and we've got Dig that we can make sure that we've got in here as well, and those will help us. Now, none of the strategies in this version of IFTTT Backlink Commando really rely on Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn, sorry. None of the strategies, even in the full version with the OTO2, rely on these, even when it comes to the link wheels, because we know that these two can be problematic, and because of that we stuck them at the end of the link wheels. Okay, so it's not going to break anything. We can still focus on high volume account creation and getting high volume set and forget backlinks even without these two particular accounts. Okay, but we are always looking to improve and make it better. So that's the account creator, how to use it in a nutshell. What you want to do is you just want to leave this to run. Once it has finished doing those 10 accounts, it will go back and start re-verifying these particular emails as well, and so that we can get these verified. And you can see it's already done it with this first one, and it's actually managed to do a Twitter account now. So it's gone back and it's retried where it's failed previously, and it's managed to create a Twitter account in here. And you will find the software does that as long as you keep it running. The only problem if you keep it running is it might run down your capture balance a little bit for those failed accounts. Okay, so let's jump over to IFTTT.com quite quickly, because there's some additional stuff that you need to do for each account to make the strategies really work well for you. You can see in here we've got a tab at the top here called channels. Okay, this is one of my main accounts. I've got most of my channels activated in here, but I've left one so I can show you how to activate. Okay, so if you click on this tab that says activated, you can see the accounts that I've got in here. I've already activated my YouTube account. I've already activated my WordPress site, my main WordPress site. I've already put in a high PR Tumblr account, and basically I've activated the Facebook as well, and I've activated the Blogger. Okay, now the software cannot create any accounts on Google. We just find that the failure rate is far too high. Google's a little bit clever when it comes to account creation stuff, so we need to go and manually do that. The thing is with these particular strategies, most of the strategies are starting from your main YouTube channel anyway, so we don't want to be creating YouTube accounts so much, so it's not a big deal. What we want to do is have good quality Google accounts and create some multi-channel accounts. So if you've got the OTO2 version, you can create those automated link networks inside YouTube. Okay, we just need the main Google accounts and just about maximum 10 Google accounts to be able to go and create 500 of those YouTube link networks. So we're okay with what we've got by doing it like this. And of course, Blogger belongs to Google as well, and we should always add a Blogger account that is related to the Google Plus account, so that we can go ahead and create, just activate the Blogger accounts inside IFTTT. The other one that we cannot create accounts for is Facebook. Okay, now Facebook, basically what I do is I go over to Fiverr.com and you can just search for PVA, phone verified accounts for Facebook. Okay, just type in Facebook PVA. These suppliers on Fiverr.com, they change very often. Okay, sometimes they will go and create a bunch of these accounts and create a bunch of gigs, and then they tend to disappear and somebody else will pop up. So I don't have any specific ones that I can recommend, but inside the Facebook group, people will probably be able to tell you the best ones to use. Okay, so to get Facebook phone verified accounts, you can get about 25 done for $5, but it's not, you know, majorly essential for the strategies that we're going to be using most of all. Okay, it's just good if you got them to be able to use them. And what you need to do is when you get your phone verified account, you need to verify it immediately. Immediately you get them, log into each one. If you've got a virtual assistant, for example, they can do that. You might find you've got some dead accounts. Just tell your provider and they will probably give you some fresh accounts to cover any that sort of died off. And then you can simply come into IFTTT.com, make sure you're logged into that Facebook account, and then you just click on activate. Now to activate, what we need to do, I think we've got now in IFTTT, we now have Daily Motion, which is one that we need to code in, because this is a brilliant site actually for being able to get good rankings, and we can really use this in some future strategies or add it into existing strategies. We can just click on activate. And if I'm logged in, which I should be, yeah, just click to accept. And that is basically how you activate an account inside IFTTT. Now, the thing is, with the software itself, all of these accounts have an activator, and we have an activator in here, which will activate these accounts once you have verified your emails. So if we start coming down here, you can see that the verification is already started for the emails and stuff, and it's the same one that's been failing every time. So we really need to get that fixed. As we come down, you can see that the Twitter started to work again, and we're pretty much set up. Now at this particular point, what we can do is we can just stop the bulk account creator, wait for that to stop, just give it a couple of seconds, and we can choose, I've already done these top two, what we can do is we can choose all of these other ones. Okay, actually I'll just do one to show you, it's just going to be easier. Usually I just checkbox all of these. Right, and then what we do in this particular profile, we click here to start setting up IFTTT accounts. What that's going to do, it's going to do that activation process that I just showed you that we did manually, right? So we can just start setting up IFTTT accounts. And what it's going to do is log into IFTTT and start connecting these particular accounts. It's going to fill in the username and password for these accounts inside that particular IFTTT.com account. And then these are all activated inside that particular IFTTT.com account. Okay, so the task has been completed. I was actually in the wrong tab there. So the task has been completed. You always get the pop-up at the end of every task. You can see here, channel added to IFTTT. It should actually say activated. and that has happened with the software itself. The account creator has done that. We're missing 3. We're missing Deagle, we're missing Twitter, we're missing LinkedIn. It's not a major problem, but we will work on fixing it, and hopefully being 1 week out from launch, we can have that finished by the time we get to the launch, and we'll have some additional accounts in here as well, including Dailymotion, which we can do some fantastic stuff with because it does rank really, really well. So that's the account creator in a nutshell, and that's basically how it works. So what I'm going to do is, while I finish off this video, I'm going to make sure that I activate all those other accounts inside the particular IFTTT accounts before I forget. So I'm just going to click on that, and it will go and do it for these accounts here. Okay. You can see it's activating channel. That's what you should have seen before when I was doing that, but I was on the wrong account. Okay, so what else you need to know about this? If you want to change any of these inside here, what you can do is simply, let me take one we've already got. You can simply go into a profile. For example, if I want to change my Tumblr account, just double click on that. You can put in a new username, new password if you bought a high PR Tumblr account, for example, and you can change it in here. Okay, now inside these profiles, they've got their own Outlook.com email addresses. Now, if I hover over this and then I right click, you can see here I can copy all details to clipboard. I can copy email ID and password to clipboard, and I can copy username and password to clipboard. Okay, that's handy if you want to go and manually verify sites like Deagle, and I suggest that you do, or at least get a VA to go and do that for you, because Deagle is a very good site. It's a very useful site for us to use, and because we've got the username and the password already there, just by double clicking on this, for example, just double click on this, just copy this onto a clipboard as well, onto your TXT file, then come over here, copy username and password to clipboard. That will get you your Outlook.com address, and you can just simply go in there and manually verify Deagle, for example, or you can use those accounts if you want to for anything else as well. Okay, so that's basically it with the account creators. I think we just covered about everything here. You can see that it's activating these particular accounts into IFTTT.com. You can see the amount of time that it saves, and we will keep adding more and more in here because from time to time we will find that IFTTT start working with new sites, and if any sites come up that we can use for syndication, you can bet that we will be using them. If you see something come up, then let us know in the Facebook groups, and because you might see it before I do, and if you find something that we can use, we will get that added into the recipes, and we can get even more from what is already a fantastic tool. Okay, so I don't want to keep this video too long. I'm just going to end it here, and thanks for watching. And next we will go on to the strategy tabs over here, so you can understand what each of these is doing, and you can understand exactly how and when you can be using each of these. But the most powerful are these two here. Basically, they cover everything that we need. The Power Feed Tumblr and the Feed Blogger cover just about everything we need to do with IFTTT for really advanced but super simple to do SEO. Okay, I'll see you in that video.